No one ever asks for my credentials. Do you need a business license, an LLC, or some type of certification to start running a bookkeeping business out of your home? Or are you breaking the law by taking on clients without having any of these things in place? Well, this is a common question I get from new bookkeepers. And today I'm walking you through exactly what you do and what you don't need to do in order to confidently and legally run a business out of your home. Let me tell you a quick story. When I got started back in 2011, I had left my corporate career of 20 years and I decided I'm going to go start my consulting business. That's what I was calling it at the time. And I just wanted to get started. I didn't have a fancy logo. I didn't have a website. I didn't have a business name. I didn't even have a formal offer or a price sheet yet. What I did have was years of experience growing companies using QuickBooks Premier Desktop Edition. I knew how to hire, fire, how to onboard things. I knew how to do day-to-day business, how to scale. I had so much experience. I had all of that. And I also had a deep desire to leave corporate America and start my own business where I could help other professionals get started with their own journey in entrepreneurship. And guess what? As I started to contact people and let them know what I was working on, how I could help them, the type of software that I primarily use to deliver the service. As I started to do all of that, no one ever asked for my credentials because what they were worried about or what they were concerned about or what they cared about was the end result. Could I help them to clean up their books? Could I help them to prepare for tax time or keep them out of tax trouble? Could I help them to understand their business, their numbers? And the answer to all of that was yes, I could help them. Yes, I could support them. Yes, I could become a partner for them to definitely grow their business. So if you've been Googling this question to death, let's cut through the noise and let's get you some real answers. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I'm Veronica Sagastumi, and this is the Bookkeeping Show. I help bookkeepers and professionals to run and scale a profitable, flexible business that they actually enjoy running and growing, whether you're working from home or on the go. Here on this channel, I share tips, strategies, behind the scenes, stories, and what I'm working on. I also share my experience so that I can help you on your journey and maybe share some pitfalls or challenges that you may encounter so that you can learn how to navigate those challenges when they come up, if they come up. All right, let's keep going with today's topic. First up, do you need a business license? The answer is maybe. Some places require you to have one, other places don't. What do you do in this case? Whether you're a solopreneur or you've decided to start right off with an LLC, it doesn't matter. You still need to search because your city and state may require you to have a business license working from home. So what you want to do is put your city, the symbol plus, and the business license, and it should take you to the portal to learn whether or not you are required to have a business license in order to run a business out of home. But like I said, go and watch that video. It's a super short video because I share my desktop with you and I show you step by step how to do the various searches, how they may look differently, how sometimes instead of a business license, it says business registration. Always trying to throw you off, but it's essentially the same thing. And for reference, my business license, the annual fee for mine is $250, around there. It fluctuates a little bit based on a couple of different things that go on during the year. However, $250 is a typical fee for a big city. I do live in a big city, so that's what they charge me. And one of my viewers actually commented that it's like, why do we need a business license? And the answer is almost like a fee that we have to pay for the luxury of doing business in the city and out of our home. There are fees involved with running a business, and having a business license keeps you legit, but it is a requirement. I can't do anything about it. I'm not telling you why you have to have one or what you don't. What I am saying is be compliant with your business, establish and set up your business for success, and have a solid foundation. That other video that I recorded, I tell you how expensive of a mistake I made by not filing for my business license, which was not on purpose. Don't do what I did. But if you don't live in a big city, the annual fee ranges anywhere between $50 to $120. And again, it is an annual fee, and that fee may increase if you start hiring employees and other things. But for now, don't worry about it. Just go to Google and find out whether your city and state require you to have a business license if you have a business out of your home. Okay? If you're enjoying today's video, then perhaps you'd consider joining my free newsletter, The Bookkeeping Insider, where I share even more behind the scenes stuff, plus exclusive offers and promotions that can hopefully help you in your journey. Now let's get back to today's video. Now let's talk about an LLC, which stands for Limited Liability Company. And having an LLC absolutely separates your personal from your business expenses. It gives you coverage for if something goes wrong, that, your personal assets are more protected by having this LLC in place where you're running your business out of. But the good news here is that you do not need an LLC to start working with clients, to start running your business. You can get started as a sole proprietor, entrepreneur, sole owner, whatever you want to call it, but you can start by yourself, okay? And if for tax purposes, you would file your personal tax return, and there's a form, typically it's Schedule C, where you would report your income and your business expenses. And if you do have a business and not quite have an LLC yet, you could just open up another checking account where you have all of your business income and expenses running out of until you elevate it to an LLC. But for right now, the question on hand is, do you need an LLC to run your bookkeeping business from home? No, you do not. Having said that, I will go back to my original note here that an LLC gives you another layer of protection, and it separates you from having your personal assets, your personal things that you own, separate from your business assets, which would be under the LLC protection. If you're running your business as a solopreneur out of your home and you've opened up this checking account that you're running your business out of, by the time that you elevate or are ready to open up an LLC, you will open a business checking account, maybe also a business savings account. You can't convert one into the other. It will start new. But that just elevates your business, and that comes in time as you grow the business. Especially in the early days, you have so much going on. You're not really, thinking about all the things, but just know you have options. So far, we've said, do you need a business license? Maybe, maybe not. Do you need an LLC to get started with your bookkeeping business from home? No, you do not. Now, let's keep going. The classic question number 3. Do you need a certification to start a bookkeeping business from your home? I recently did a video, short and sweet, all about whether you should get certified first or focus on getting your first client. And I'm telling you right now that, do you need a certification to start your business out of your home? No, you do not. It's a nice to have. I think that there's a place and time for that if you feel like you need it, but you do not need that in order to get started. Bookkeeping in the United States is an unregulated industry, which basically means that you do not need a license or some type of certification in order to get started. Certifications like QuickBooks, Xero, PBC, there's another one, ProAdvisor, all of those certifications can help to give you confidence and give you something to show, to put on your website or on your LinkedIn profile or your signature. They are a nice to have, but they are optional. They are not a must have in order for you to get started with your business. Most of your clients are not even going to know what those certifications are anyway. What your clients will want, what they care about, like I said in the beginning, is whether or not you can help them to keep their books clean, to be timely, to help them to translate the numbers, to help them understand how their business performed, how it's performing, and even possibly later on start to give them some input on how they can improve certain areas of their business. If you want to go a little deeper on this topic, I did record another video. You should see it pop up on the screen now, and you can always click on that one after you watch this one to do a deeper dive into this topic. So far, we've been talking about the things that you don't need in order to get started. So let's shift gears a little bit and let's talk about what you actually do need in order to start your business from home. There are a handful of things, so let's go through it now. You do need some basic bookkeeping skills, and those you can pick up quickly, with some trial and error, some training, doing some tutorials. I will create another video in a future session as to how you can use QuickBooks Online testing. There's a testing account that you can create so that you can hone in on your skills. But to start with, you do need some basic skills, and if you are able to organize things, to organize data, to organize files, you can help a client to organize their books, especially in the beginning. Keep it simple. You're going to go after a very simple client. Next, you'll need a way to track your leads and your clients. I don't just say tracking your clients because I do believe that you need a way, even if it's a simple Google spreadsheet, where you can track who are you reaching out to, who are you connecting with, who could be a potential lead versus who do you sign as an actual paying client. You need a simple database, and a database is just a list. A Google Sheet tracker will do the job. Next, you're going to need a way to track the tasks that you need to deliver for that paying client, because sometimes you may have 1 or 2 or 3 different clients, and each one will have a little bit of a different requirement or service that you're offering. And so in order for you to know who is your client and what service you're delivering, you definitely want to make sure you have a way to track these tasks. I personally use Asana. That is a project management system. But to get started, you can just, again, go and have a Google Sheet where you can have a list of tasks that you can outline that you would perform. One file, multiple tabs, and each tab would have what is it that you're performing for that client. And then you could even add other columns to track what's the frequency? How often are you going to perform that? When is the date that you check in to see that they've given you the statements? So on and so forth. But the bottom line is that you do need a way to track the tasks that you are going to be performing for that client so that you know if it's all done and whether or not you're able to then close out the month. If you'd like me to do a deeper dive into this topic on preparing like a checklist or what are the services that get delivered or the tasks that get performed, let me know in the comments and I would be happy to create a video like that for you. But give me a little bit of input as to what it is that you would like to see in that video, specifically for creating a task list for delivering services for your client. Now, the next thing that you would need when you start your bookkeeping business, you need a way to send an invoice and you need to set up a way that they can pay you. My least favorite is them sending you a check. I do not like that at all. I would recommend that you set up some sort of either that they can pay you through PayPal, Merchant, Venmo, Business Venmo, Zelle, any of those payments. But a lot of times, if you're using a software yourself to run your own business, like Xero or QuickBooks Online or QuickBooks Premier, even whatever, a lot of times you're able to send an invoice with a link attached to that where they can pay you. Now, my favorite way to get paid and the way that my business gets paid, and I learned this the hard way because I'll share that in a moment. My favorite way is to have the client sign an ACH form where on the first or the second of the month, you're going to pull your fee from the bank, but they've already given you an authorization form granting you a permission to do that. Okay, that's my favorite way. And the reason that I recommend this is because I've had more than one client, especially in the early days, where they started to fall behind paying with a check. And it only took a few times for me to see that I was floating them, meaning I would send the invoice, even though my invoice said the payment terms were net 10 days, we're taking 30, 60, 90 days. I had to be very firm with these clients that I would no longer be performing any service until they made good on their past due invoices. Because by the time the 90 days was past due, I had already invoiced them for 3 additional months. So it didn't take long for me to just kind of test a few different payment methods, and one of them being credit card, another one being e-check, pay like that. And then after a while, my contract just basically said, hey, this is the way we like to get paid. And no, I haven't had any complaints. They know that I'm delivering a service and they need to pay for that service. And we negotiate all that upfront in the contract. All right, so far, what I've covered under what you need to run a bookkeeping business from home. You need some basic bookkeeping skills. You need a way to track your leads and your clients. You need a way to track your tasks, the tasks that you're going to be performing for that client, and you need a way to get paid. That leads us into the next point, which is you need a clear offer, a simple offer to start with. You know, it could be a very simple offer where you're like, I will record transactions, reconcile bank statements, and generate financials after the month is closed. And we'll do that by the 10th day of the following month. A simple offer to start with, to get your feet wet, to give you some confidence, to have the ability to fine-tune your offer overall. This leads us into our last point. What do you need? This to me is one of the most important ones, and that is your willingness to take action. Action to start your business to serve and help people who need your services. Right now, it really is up to you. Decide, act, and grow. I know it feels scary and uncertain, but I want you to embrace that feeling and have it be a motivator for you. Because, once you start taking action, one step, next step, it starts to take momentum and it starts to take an energy. And even if you make mistakes, that's part of the journey. And the beauty of right now is that there's so many people and so many resources that you can reach out to and ask a question of, including myself. Let's do a recap. 6 things to get started with your bookkeeping business from home. The first one, basic bookkeeping skills. Number 1, a way to track leads and clients. Number 2, a way to track your tasks that you're going to perform for that paying client. Number 4, a simple offer to start with. Number 5, a way to get paid. And number 6, a willingness to take action. Starting your bookkeeping business doesn't have to feel overwhelming or official to be legit. You don't need to wait for certifications or paperwork or for the stars to align in order for you to get started. Just start where you are. Take steps, build as you go, and show up with intention. Now, if you want to know how to get started with your first client without a website, click on the video on your screen and I'll walk you through this strategy step by step. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Until next time, I'm Veronica. Bye for now.